Alright guys, we are back again with a new video. The title, Democrat makes Fox host regret bringing him on air. Title seems interesting. Let's start the video without wasting any time. I'm interested in US politics. I do reaction on political videos of US. If you are also interested in politics, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. And please excuse my accent, I'm not a native speaker. Let's start the video. Here we go.
Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz appeared on Fox News after the Hunter Biden appearing at his own contempt hearing chaos, where Republicans had a really tough time dealing with the fact that Hunter Biden did show up during this hearing where they're deciding on if they're going to hold him in contempt of Congress. Democrats just did so well in that setting and called out the ridiculousness of the Republican investigation. And Jared Moskowitz then goes on Fox News, and I'm assuming Fox News regretted bringing him on because he spoke some major truth and specifically focused on what he did in the hearing as well. And I'll remind you that clip in a little bit, which is you have these Republicans pretending now like they're very concerned with Hunter Biden in this case not complying with their subpoena, but Republicans in the very hearing room in which this is being discussed didn't comply with congressional subpoenas in the past, specifically, very notably, in relation to the January 6th Select Committee. They said it wasn't a legitimate investigation or whatever. Their loyalty to Trump went beyond their loyalty to Congress, I guess. And so they didn't comply with these congressional subpoenas. So Jared Moskowitz keeps saying, and I love it, hey, I'll vote to hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress if you all will vote to hold all of these Republicans who didn't comply with those subpoenas in contempt of Congress. It's beautiful. It's calling out the hypocrisy. And also, and then I'll play this, I promise, it's pointing out the fact that, in a sense, you showed us, Republicans, that it's acceptable, at least according to your principles, to not comply with subpoenas if one believes them to be coming from an illegitimate investigation. Now, why you would believe investigating an attempt to block the peaceful transfer of power and a violent attack on the Capitol, why that investigation would be illegitimate, I don't know, but many of them said that. Well, now we think this whole Joe Biden's a crook investigation is illegitimate, and we have good reason for believing that, and thus Hunter Biden isn't going to comply.
Okay.
I'll play this, then talk about that a little bit more.
So Hunter Biden showed up at this hearing, but he continues to defy a duly issued subpoena from the Oversight Committee to show up for a deposition. What he did today is being seen by many people as a political stunt, grandstanding. How did you view it?
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Quickly, it was a stunt.
Yes.
And it was a fantastic stunt.
Appreciate the opportunity. Well, look, Hunter Biden's going to do what him and his attorneys believe is the correct strategy for them. I think what we were trying to highlight today in the hearing is that the chairman, who sets the rules and sets the tone, invited Hunter to choose between a public hearing and a deposition and multiple statements over the last couple of months. Hunter Biden accepted that invitation, but the chairman obviously has decided that he's reneging the invitation, and now it only can be in the basement of a building in which we'll never see the transcript. My other point in the hearing was, look, if we want to hold Hunter Biden in contempt, what I said to my colleagues across the aisle was, I'll vote with them. I'll make it bipartisan. But we got to apply the rules equally. We've heard that Hunter Biden doesn't deserve special rules. I agree with that. But we have several of my colleagues that defied subpoenas in the last Congress. Just never showed up, never tried to negotiate, just totally blew them off. And so if we're going to try to do this to Hunter, then obviously those congressmen also need to be held in contempt. I want to apply the rule equally. I think that'll restore faith to the American people that this place just isn't a show.
So that's simultaneously just a very true thing to say and a consistent principle to hold. And also, like I said in past segments, it's sort of playing the game, right? Now they want to talk about Hunter Biden defying the subpoena. And so then you all of a sudden just start obsessing over, well, these Republicans didn't comply with their subpoenas, so let's make a deal. And you know they're never going to take you up on that deal. It's awesome. It's very within Jared Moskowitz's rhetorical skill set, and I love it. It's perfect. And again, it's honest and principled, because he's saying he would hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress if they'll hold their own Congress people in contempt of Congress for the exact same activity, the exact same behavior. Now, of course, I would prefer a world in which all investigations are just, and thus all subpoenas are just, and thus all people being subpoenaed comply with those subpoenas. And if they don't, they're held in criminal contempt, and whatever accountability happens from there. We are unfortunately in a situation where it makes total sense why Hunter Biden would say, I don't want to go in a closed door deposition, but he's offering up public testimony. He's not doing what Republican Congress people did during the January 6th Select Committee, saying, I'm not even going to be a part of this at all, because I don't care that American democracy was almost overthrown. It's not that. It's, I'll come publicly. I'm just not going to let you manipulate private testimony like you've been doing in this very investigation. Perfectly reasonable on the part of Hunter Biden. So I wish we were in a different situation, but this is the one we're in, and thus Hunter Biden's behavior makes complete sense. Here's more from this interview.
So for her, it's not about defending Hunter Biden or defending.
I should note, he's responding to Nancy Mace, who was one of the Republicans who did vote to hold Steve Bannon in contempt of Congress, now obviously supporting holding Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress. So John Roberts is saying, if Mace was willing to do it with Bannon and here with Biden, what is your response?
Steve Bannon, she's defending Congress and Congress's power of subpoena, which a lot of critics are saying Hunter Biden is doing his best to emasculate. What do you say?
I agree with Nancy Mace, and I applaud her and the previous Congress for taking that position. I'm trying to take the same position. I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm saying if we go ahead and hold Hunter Biden in contempt, right, my other colleagues should hold the 3 members of Congress, and I'm not naming them out of due respect. I'm not interested in attacking my colleagues, but I am interested in preserving the system. And so what I need Representative Mace to do is I need her to look at her colleagues and say, join me. Join me on holding everyone who has defied a subpoena in contempt. If they do it, I will absolutely do it, and we'll make this a bipartisan effort.
It's perfect. Credit to Jared Moskowitz. Now, the moment where he did name names, there in the interview, he said, I won't name names. But in the hearing, he did name names, and that was this.
Listen, I'll make this bipartisan. I'll vote for the Hunter contempt today. You can get my vote. You can get my vote. But I want you to show the American people that you're serious. Here is the subpoena to Representative Scott Perry, who did not comply. I'd like to enter this into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mark Meadows. I'd like to enter this into the record, who did not comply. Here is the subpoena to Jim Jordan, who did not comply with a lawful subpoena. I'd like to enter that into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mo Brooks, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mr. Biggs, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. And here's the subpoena to Mr. McCarthy, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. There's an amendment coming to add some of those names into the contempt order.
So, of course, Republicans do have the right to hold Hunter Biden in criminal contempt of Congress. They do. They have that power. But their inconsistency, their hypocrisy is on full display. And it's important to note that this investigation is ridiculous. So I do think that should be weighed. Same technical, lawful power, but different public perceived legitimacy. At least there should be. Because this is an illegitimate, ridiculous, nonsense, politically driven investigation solely aimed at hurting Joe Biden politically. That's it. They've been investigating for long enough now and have uncovered so little, nothing, that they know Joe Biden isn't the corrupt person they've made him out to be. They have to, because they're the ones investigating so much and clearing Biden over and over again. And so, despite that, they're charging forward with this investigation and attacking Biden every way they possibly can just to essentially help out Trump in the 2024 election.
Okay, so this was a video, and can you tell me about Joe Biden's situation right now in US? In my opinion, Trump supporters are on social media and everywhere. Where are Biden supporters? I didn't see any comments about Biden supporters. If you are a Biden supporter, please comment below. I want to know about your opinion. I want to judge who is going to win the November 2024 elections. I'm waiting for your comments if you're a Trump supporter or if you're a Biden supporter. Well, Trump is doing rallies daily in New Hampshire and everywhere, but I cannot see so much news about Biden. What is Biden doing right now? So who is going to win November 2024 election? It's still a myth, and I'm waiting for November 2024 elections. Seriously, I'm waiting for the election and I'm very excited for that time. If you enjoyed my video, please give your precious seconds to subscribe to my channel so that we can meet again. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.